Jessica Beauvais silently supported her in court Tuesday, where she was arraigned on a slew of charges that include second-degree aggravated manslaughter and operating a motor vehicle under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Beauvais was speeding on the LIE when she allegedly struck Officer Sakos, catapulting him into the air. Prosecutors claim Beauvais kept driving.
Clearly, this woman's guilty. Then try to claim deniability. Do we not see the hypocrisy? It's crazy how we try and paint all police in a bad light. And we'll lump all police officers together, right? But then turn around and say, oh, not all blacks are bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we want people to make exceptions for the rules when it comes to us, but don't make exceptions to the rules when it comes to others. They'll turn around and be like, oh, all white people are racist, whatever. That's a lie. All cops are bad. That's a lie. We want us to get the benefit of the doubt, but when it comes to other people, they don't need the benefit of the doubt. My mind's made up. Don't work like that. Hey guys, Walls P here for Matter of Opinion. So today when I got up to do my regular, workout out here in the park, I saw a post by my boy Strategic. Shout out to Strategic Eyes, man. If you guys want videos dissecting good policing and bad policing and just general topics, definitely check out my boy Strategic Eyes channel. Oh, and he has some of the best lives on YouTube, so definitely check him out, subscribe. So the post was about, I don't want to butcher any names, but Jessica Beauvais. And she's accused of drunk driving and fatally striking and killing an NYPD officer, Anastasio Sakos. I hope I got all the pronunciations right. Now, the irony of this story is that she was doing a podcast before she got in her vehicle talking about bad policing and everything, and about the whole Derek Chavo's trial and how officers make excuses for their actions or whatever and, get the benefit of the doubt and everything like that, which is true. But in a vacuum, people look at a 5-second clip and cast their judgment, already have their mind made up. And then when all the facts come out, since they have their mind made up, they still justify or look at the police in a bad light. Now, I'm gonna show you guys the clip so that you guys can know exactly what the full story is. So check it out.
Dick and Christine, two families are left devastated tonight. Officer Sakos was a beloved husband and father of two, and the woman accused of killing him is the sole provider for her 13-year-old son. She kept her head down during the arraignment tonight as prosecutors detailed the 13-count complaint against her and is now being held without bail. The family of 32-year-old Jessica Beauvais silently supported her in court Tuesday, where she was arraigned on a slew of charges that include second-degree aggravated manslaughter and operating a motor vehicle under the influence of drugs or alcohol. This just 20 hours after police say she hit and killed 43-year-old police officer Anastasio Sakos, a 14-year veteran of the NYPD's Highway Patrol Unit and a father of two.
They will never see their father again, because somebody did the wrong thing.
Just after midnight, NYPD officers responded to a deadly car crash on the Long Island Expressway ramp to the Clearview Expressway. Police say a car carrying 4 people slammed into a concrete wall and burst into flames. At least one person died. As police were investigating, Officer Sakos was directing traffic around the scene. Just after 2 a.m., prosecutors allege Beauvais was speeding on the LIE when she allegedly struck Officer Sakos, catapulting him into the air.
Police officer who died saving other police officers. His partner yelled out, and other police officers were able to get out of the way.
Prosecutors claim Beauvais kept driving, dragging a safety cone with her windshield shattered past several exits before turning off on Horace Harding Expressway, where her car jumped the curb and police surrounded her. Prosecutors allege Beauvais' car backed up, hitting a police car behind her twice before coming to a stop. That's when she was arrested. Prosecutors claim police body cam captured her asking an officer, quote, "What did I do?"
Police say Beauvais' blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit. She was driving with a suspended license and has a history of traffic violations, though this is her first arrest. Beauvais had been hosting a podcast under the name Phoenix Michelle, which streamed live on Facebook for about 2 hours before the accident.
I'm sorry that I hit him and he's dead.
I don't know if you guys caught that end part, but first she said, you know, hey, she don't know what happened. Why y'all pulling, basically why y'all arresting me, and then saying, you know, I didn't know he was dead or whatever. So in a nutshell, the same thing that she was getting on these officers about, how something will happen, and even though they know they're guilty, whatever, they'll try and, you know, twist the story a bit to make it seem as if they're innocent. Prime example, the Derek Chavez situation. We all know your man was guilty. That was blatant murder. But prosecution tried to spin it or whatever to make the narrative seem as though he wasn't guilty. So here we have a situation where clearly this woman's guilty. You got behind the wheel after drinking and smoking on a 2-hour podcast, and the whole time on the podcast she's drinking and smoking. That's number one. Number two, you got a suspended license. So right there, you're guilty. You breaking the law. Then when she kills somebody, strike the officer, she basically flees the scene. Then when she jumped the curb and they're like ready to apprehend her, she tries to back up twice, striking police vehicle 2 times. Then try to claim deniability. Do we not see the hypocrisy? And it's sad to say, but it's always the people that scream defund the police and, you know, put all police into one bucket, saying they're all bad. These are the people that be breaking the most laws. Yeah, they haven't gotten caught, but these are the people that's breaking tons of laws. You get what I'm saying? Pretty much, what's wrong with us today is we'll take a 5-second clip and base everything off of that clip. Or we'll read a headline and run with it. Won't do the research, won't look into the details, won't see, okay, what happened in this story. You get what I'm saying? I remember on one of Strategic's lives, he showed us a clip of a cop tackling this guy, going to arrest him, and a few seconds later, they shoot him. So when you look at the video for that clip, you like, holy cow, not again. And he did that for a reason. He then went back and showed everything leading up to that. Pretty much the guy was trying to break into a car. Cops rolled up like, hey, what are you doing? He said, oh, I locked my keys in the car or whatever, so I'm trying to get in the car. They're like, this your car? He's like, yes. He's like, I came out the house with the wrong keys, went upstairs, grabbed another set of keys, and for some reason the key isn't working. So now I'm trying to break in. So the cops ask, let me see the keys or whatever, trying to get in the car. Then come to find out it's not his car. Now I don't remember exactly, but I think he tried to escape or something like that, but they tackled him down. So at that point when they tackled him down, I believe he either tried to reach for their gun or he was trying to reach for his own gun, and that's when they shot him. Everybody in the live was like, oh, you see what I'm saying? It's best to know the whole story before you cast judgment on people. So needless to say, why am I saying this is because karma's a bee. Here you had this woman bashing police officers about how they do bad policing, whatever, know they're guilty and try and change the narrative or change the story. And then you turn around and basically do the same thing. You know? It's crazy how we try and paint all police in a bad light. Because a few police, you know, do bad things. No need to sugarcoat it. They'll kill an unarmed black, you know. They'll punch a dude in the face who's already handcuffed and stuff like that. But that still doesn't speak for all police officers. And we'll lump all police officers together, right? But then turn around and say, oh, not all blacks are bad. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, we want people to make exceptions for the rules when it comes to us, but don't make exceptions to the rules when it comes to others. They'll turn around and be like, oh, all white people are racist, whatever. That's a lie. All cops are bad. That's a lie. You get what I'm saying? So, we want us to get the benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to other people, they don't need the benefit of the doubt. My mind's made up. Don't work like that. So now she's gonna have a 13-year-old child who's not gonna have her mom. His or her, I don't remember if it's a son or a daughter that she has. And then you have one officer who left behind a wife and two kids. And you're gonna get people who be like, oh, well, what about when we have unarmed blacks that, you know, leave kids behind or whatever? Where's the sympathy for them? I have sympathy for them. And like I said, bad policing is bad policing. And those who get convicted, the bad police that get convicted for their crimes or their actions, you know, I'm behind it 100%. They should get what they deserve. But in this case, we're not doing apples for apples. And that's what a lot of people do. They're like, oh, well, because of this happened, guess what? That's you know, a point for us or score for us. Nah. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So, before we are quick to judge on the actions of police officers and then go on the internet and bash police officers for some of them actually doing their job, like the whole Bryant situation. That's another thing with the Bryant situation. Here's what I ask people. If Bryant had the knife to your child, you had a taser and a gun in your hand and pepper spray, and she's cocking back, ready to stab your child, what is your actions? with her back turned to you, you thinking, oh, pepper spray? You thinking taser? Or you thinking gun? And then when you think gun, are you gonna try and shoot at her arm or hand, which is a smaller target area? Or are you gonna look for the best target area that's gonna give you the best chance of landing your target? We got the whole process of thinking movies into real life where the cop has perfect aim to shoot the knife out of the person's hand. And everybody's up in arms about the Bryant. I hope I'm not butchering her name, but everybody's up in arms about that. But nobody's up in arms about the 7-year-old girl that got killed in gang violence. And I get it. The police are sworn in to protect and serve. So they have a duty to uphold the law and do their job correctly. But with that said, as much as we get on these police officers for doing their jobs bad, we still need to get on each other when it comes to black on black crime. And I get it, social media, well, not social media, but the media isn't gonna cover that type of stuff because they're all about, Black Lives Matter or whatever, which I have another take now on Black Lives Matter, like after dissecting it and all. But media is not gonna cover that because it's not as profitable. But when it comes to cops shooting blacks, that's very profitable. So they're gonna promote it. But that still doesn't excuse social media. On social media, I hear everybody talking about the Bryant situation, but nobody's talking about this 7-year-old girl. 7-year-old girl who got killed because of her father's actions and don't want to work with the police to apprehend the suspect. You hear what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, we as a people playing jury on the matter need to observe everything pretty much, all the facts before casting judgment on different situations. Because basing your judgment on how you feel, that's a process for disaster. And I'm a person, I like to go by facts. I used to go by the way I feel on a situation, but I gotta go by facts, man. Because facts is what tell the whole story. That's gonna do it for my morning rant. Tell me what you guys think. I wanna hear it in the comment section. And on that note, I'm Wall Speed, it's a matter of opinion. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
It's a matter of opinion.